This time I came to Shanghai, I suddenly found that Shanghai seems very depressed. There are not many people in the shopping malls, and many factories have closed down. Look at this airport. It is also deserted, with very few people. The netizen lamented that there is really no comparison between Shanghai now and the metropolis of previous years. He checked and found that Shanghai has experienced a net outflow of people in recent years. A man visited a newly opened shopping mall in Shanghai and found that there was very little foot traffic inside. The man said, "This is a common phenomenon in shopping malls in China nowadays. They are empty. Look, this is the first floor. Look, this is the first floor below the mall. This is a common situation in shopping malls." The woman said, "Let's go to Guojin and take a look at Shanghai. I heard people say that the economy is very depressed now, and we'll see if there are more people there. There are no people here at all. What's wrong with the city's economy now? No one is consuming anymore." In addition to shopping malls, store closures in Shanghai are also severe. A female restaurant owner expressed her dilemma. "Do you know how difficult it is to transfer stores now? The transfer notice has been posted for a month. From the initial 100,000 yuan, it dropped to 80,000, 60,000, 50,000, and still, no one accepted even 30,000 yuan. Now I've told the landlord that when the rent expires in February, I won't rent it anymore and will let him rent it directly. Today, I found a chef who buys second-hand kitchenware to come and take a look. Such a big display cabinet, such a big air conditioner, and such a big freezer. Pack them all together, and he offers me 1,500 yuan. Oops, I'm speechless now. These subway stations in Shanghai, which were once crowded, are now described as deserted, which is no exaggeration at all. In the past, we couldn't even transfer a shop like this for 300,000 yuan. The woman said that there are basically no people in places like commercial streets around subway stations, and they can't even sell snacks. This is Shanghai, a first-tier city. She said that it is really difficult to do business in physical stores in Shanghai this year. Moreover, the group of post-80s working people around her, who are about the same age as her, are also among those laid off by their companies. How difficult will it be for Shanghai this year? There are nearly 5 million foreigners here. Shanghai used to have 2.6 million permanent residents, but now the number is almost only 2,000. Shujiahui was once a high-profile area and a commercial center in Zuhui District, Shanghai. The current scene is in stark contrast to the past. The woman said that the rent in this place used to be at least several million yuan, but now it is even more expensive, and it is estimated that no one will come to open a store. Most of the stores that can open here are big brands, and they are probably struggling. Now, even supermarkets in Shanghai have very few customers. China's economy has almost completely deteriorated, and this number is shocking. From January to July 2024, among the 31 provincial administrative regions in China, except for Shanghai with a surplus of 70.3 billion yuan, the local finances of other provinces are in deficit, and the number of provinces with a fiscal deficit of more than 100 billion yuan is as high as 23. Even the fiscal deficit of Beijing, the political center of the Communist Party of China, is as high as negative 92.25 billion yuan. On December 7, 2024, the Shanghai Statistics Bureau reported that Shanghai's social consumer goods retail sales in November totaled 144.295 billion yuan, marking a year-on-year decline of approximately 13.5%. Reacting to this, some netizens commented, "A 13.5% drop. If this weren't China, I would have thought it was caused by a war." Another said, "Despite promoting economic brilliance, the economy has collapsed. Industries are withering, and people are drowning in debt, struggling to make ends meet." Others added, "Shanghai's tobacco and alcohol taxes are excessively high, but they don't represent sustainable consumption trends. Foreign-related, securities-related, and real estate-related social consumption all look bleak." Shanghai's economic downturn has a lot to do with the withdrawal of foreign capital. A Shanghai blogger said that many Shanghai bloggers who have worked in foreign companies often post videos and mention, After the foreign companies left, other Chinese companies lost their integrity and morality. When they were in foreign companies before, they were treated well, and it was easy to take leave. The blogger said that foreign companies had good benefits. After foreign companies left, Shanghai's economy also deteriorated. Local companies did not learn from foreign companies, and their income also decreased. Previously, as an international metropolis, Shanghai often saw foreigners. Now, not many foreigners. There were foreigners everywhere before, but there are fewer foreigners now. Only a small number of foreigners in the city, but there are no foreigners in the suburbs. This video shows that the foreign streets in Shanghai are deserted. Shanghai's Laowai Street used to be brightly lit and crowded with people, but now all the foreigners have left, and there's not a single foreigner to be seen. Today is the weekend, and there is no one on Laowai Street on weekend nights. The employment situation in Shanghai is dire. This is the feeling of a blogger after spending 2 days in Shanghai. Let me tell you how difficult the employment situation is this year. Even if someone works at the Oriental Pearl behind me, they only earn 5,000 yuan. It is becoming increasingly difficult to find a job now. Everyone is scrambling for jobs that pay 4,000 to 5,000 yuan a month. Now, college students in Shanghai can't find jobs. The blogger said that he heard from someone that a company wanted to hire a conference room attendant for about 4,000 to 5,000 yuan a month. Unexpectedly, they received more than 500 resumes, many of which were from undergraduates, and even 2 were from master's degree holders. Now even master's degree holders in Shanghai can't find jobs. This is a scene of an unemployed Shanghai college student crying on the subway. A freshly graduated college student talked about their difficult experience finding a job. The woman said, "I want to know if I can still find a job in Shanghai this year. Boss Xi'an has been useless. Either they read the message but didn't reply, or they received the resume but didn't respond." The man said, "Why do I feel that the economy in Shanghai is worse than in second and third tier cities? In the past 2 years, almost everyone working around me has been laid off. Some haven't found a job for almost 2 years. Some have simply returned home." The woman said, "Where can I find a job with a normal salary in Shanghai? I have interviewed with countless companies these past 2 days, including positions as a director, operations, and sales AE. After the interviews, all of them offered 6,000 yuan before tax. My God, after deducting taxes, there is only a little over 4,000 yuan left. Can you really live in Shanghai on that? I used to think everyone in Shanghai earned at least 10,000 yuan a month, but now they tell me 6,000 yuan. My God, this is too scary, too scary." College students who can't find jobs go to deliver food, but the experience of food delivery workers often makes people cry. Many people have already left Shanghai. The man said he was standing outside the train station and noticed that most of the people leaving were young individuals born in the 1980s and 1990s. As for the reason they left Shanghai, someone provided an explanation. Not only has foreign capital withdrawn in large numbers, but even Shanghai's local factories have shut down, causing a significant number of people to lose their jobs. The owner of a Shanghai factory expressed his frustration. "Man, given the current situation, in 2 days, all of my processing factories, about 10 in total, will stop working, and there will be no work to do. At present, there are 217,000 pieces already in the warehouse, excluding the processing factories. I don't know if other businesses are doing well, but if this continues, all of my dozen or so factories will cease operations. There will be no work at all." A blogger explained why many outsiders left Shanghai and revealed a shocking fact. 2 to 3 million people have left the city. I was chatting with a few friends in Shanghai today. They estimated that 2 to 3 million people have left Shanghai over the past 2 or 3 years. Why did these friends leave? They said it was because there was no work, so they had to return to their hometowns. Now, even wealthy people in Shanghai have begun evacuating. Woman. Is Shanghai going to change? Many foreign companies have left, and the wealthy in Shanghai are selling their houses to cash out and fleeing the city. I've been in Shanghai for so many years, and this is the first time I've seen such a situation. She observed that this year, many houses have been mortgaged for loans. Is there some major development happening? Additionally, the real estate market has been continuously lowering interest rates recently. Did they know some insider information in advance? Are they preparing to leave Shanghai? This blogger noticed the same trend. Shanghai landlords are truly panicking and have started fleeing. Many people, especially those from other regions, are selling their houses in Shanghai and buying property elsewhere. This has become the choice for many. Some Shanghai residents waited until their children completed the college entrance exams before selling their houses and leaving. Others with younger children decided it wasn't worth staying, quickly sold their houses, and ran away. Shanghai locals also discussed the employment situation with netizens from other provinces. This once famous bakery, established 30 years ago, has now closed down as Shanghai's economy continues to decline. Even the economy of Shanghai, China's first-tier international metropolis, has deteriorated to such an extent, highlighting how weak China's economy has become. Beijing has never been worse. Street shops are closed, and shopping malls are deserted. Beijing has never been in such a dire state. The once bustling streets of Sanlitun and Wangfujing are now unrecognizable. Many businesses have closed, and the shopping malls are deserted. Shimao Tianjie and Galaxy Soho are extremely gloomy. Many people cannot find work, spending their days waiting for a manual labor job to make ends meet. It's heartbreaking to witness the current living conditions along Beijing's Second Ring Road. Beijing netizens have posted that the city has never been as depressed as it is now. The entire city is highly closed off and severely lacking in vitality. Look, today is the weekend. These restaurants used to have long lines of people waiting to have lunch here. But now, the place is empty. The atmosphere so gloomy and deserted. There's truly no one in the shopping mall. On the 25th, some Weibo netizens posted, "I didn't expect Zhongguancun, Beijing, to be so depressed 10 years later." I went to Xi'an for an interview today and was struck by how the once bustling area has vanished. After leaving the subway station, I didn't see many people shopping. Many shops were closed. Carrefour and Shibao Street were gone. I only saw a few snack bars and convenience stores. Netizens responded one after another. Since the Didwan, low-end population was cleaned up a year ago, the city has gradually become deserted. Beijing is in a depression overall, not just limited to Zhongguancun. I don't know why things are like this now. My impression of Beijing from 10 years ago is nothing like what it is today. On September 25th last year, Li Hua, pseudonym, an insider who often travels between Beijing and other cities in Hebei province, told a reporter that Beijing's economy is indeed depressed at present. For example, Beijing's Wukesong, which is close to West Chang'an Street, used to be quite busy, but since July this year, the number of shops in this area has dropped sharply. According to Li Hua's observation, there are now fewer than 10 foreign-owned supermarkets in Beijing, and most of them have closed. Carrefour's last store in Beijing has been acquired. There are no more Carrefours in Beijing, and now Walmart is barely holding on. A Beijing resident named Wang Li told reporters that the national economy is currently in a severe recession. Even the capital, Beijing, has become deserted, empty, and lifeless. Unlike in previous years, things are no longer good. Except for civil servants who have some money, people basically have no money. The WeChat public account Pinkadashi published an article titled, "Beijing has never been as depressed as it is now," describing the current depression in Beijing based on years of working and living in the city. The article mentioned that there used to be no guardrails in Tiananmen Square, and the buildings could be photographed at close range, but now they are all blocked off. Many places in Beijing have been artificially divided, such as schools, which used to symbolize openness. Now, Tsinghua University, Peking University, other universities, middle schools, and elementary schools are all inaccessible. The article also cites Sanlitun, a once famous landmark in Beijing, as an example. In the past, Sanlitun was the fashion center of Beijing and even China, with a variety of restaurants, dinner parties, celebrities, film crews, and beautiful people. But now, it no longer resembles its former self. There is no superficial prosperity. There are more farmers' markets in fifth-tier counties than in Sanlitun. The article also noted that there are obviously fewer foreigners in Beijing now, including fewer white people, black people, and mixed-race West Asians. In the past, Liangmaqiao was practically a concession. Every day a bunch of white people would run around the Liangma River. It was almost like the Seine. Moreover, the streets in Beijing are not very lively right now, especially at night when there are no people around. There are no stalls, sellers, photographers, or street performers. The streets are completely empty. The article pointed out that Beijing's economy was once very strong. The technology sector, which used to symbolize the internet, is no longer viable in Haidian. Finance, located in Xi'an, is now under strict regulation and has lost its vitality. Education, also in Haidian, is said to be the worst-hit industry. Culture, centered in Chaoyang, includes film, television, music, art, and media industries, but Beijing's cultural industry is now moribund. Another area is foreign investment, also in Chaoyang. Foreign investment in Beijing used to be very strong, but everyone knows that the situation has been very bad in recent years, especially investment in Beijing. The article concludes by saying that the job opportunities in technology, education, finance, culture, foreign investment, and tourism, which used to support a large number of ordinary Beijing citizens, are no longer available. With the Chinese economy rapidly declining and in recession, Beijing is gradually falling into a difficult and gloomy period. A layer of smog covers the city, and everywhere, the vitality of dawn is no longer present.